What's good, YouTube? It's me, JoJo, back at it again with another video. So, I'm a big fan of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I've only said it once, and I'm realizing now, this is the same intro that I think I've used for a different video. YouTube, me, JoJo, back at it again with another video. So, I'm a big fan of Hunter x Hunter. I think I've only made it apparent in one video thus far. Oh well, naturally I wanted to make a JoJo video, and even more naturally, I decided to do which JoJo stands could have which Pokemon types. This is the first part, which will cover parts 3 through 5, and the second part will cover parts 6 through 8. I am not covering part 9, as that is not finished yet, and I have not started reading it yet. Spoilers for JoJo's, if you haven't watched and are planning to, then leave and then come back once you're done, I guess. With that being said, please subscribe, and let's go. Starting with part 3. So the first stand we see is, of course, the main stand, Star Platinum. But I'm going to also do the world here, because they are meant to be the same. Maybe they're like counterparts, like, okay, I don't want to compare Star Platinum and the world to +1 Minun, but I guess they are. Anyway, fighting type is obvious, since they are both some of the physically strongest. But we don't have a time type. There are 2 Pokemon that are both time related, but they don't share any types. The only time move is Dragon, but these guys are not dragons. So I guess we're just gonna have them both be pure fighting. Okay? Okay. The next thing we see is so much simpler. It is Magician's Red, which is pure fire. It doesn't throw hands that much, and it doesn't actually fly despite being a bird, so that's why it's not getting fighting or flying. Hermit Purple. Hermit Purple is a fortune teller, that's psychic. Take the appearance into account. This is clearly vines, so I believe psychic grass. Plus that helps with it being the stand that embodies Hamon. Hamon uses sun energy, a la plants. Okay, so Hierophant Green. It's very weird, right? The main ability it uses throughout the series is to shoot emeralds, so rock type, duh. But with how it stretches and make webs, I honestly am considering Rock Bug. If you think just Rock, or maybe even Rock Normal or something, that's fine, but I'm going to stick with Rock Bug for now. Holly Stand. We don't know what it is, but it's flowers, so I guess Grass type. And I'm not giving it Ghost or Poison, because it being a curse that's killing her is just because she doesn't have the aura. Tower of Grey. It's a bug that flies. Bug flying. Who even cares about Tower of Grey? Silver Chariot can really only be Steel type, which now we have our full Pokemon team with the Stardust Crusaders. Dark Blue Moon. This is the most obvious water type, and also the least obvious water type in terms of stands. You'll see later. You could argue Rock because of its sharp scales and its creating barnacles. I think the sharp scales are more of like a physical aspect, and barnacle creation is just a part of their overall control of the sea. Strength. It's literally a boat, so Steel type. Ebony Devil. God, this one's trash. So, hatred possesses a doll and causes it to attack. Wait a minute. This is just Bayonet. Oh, well, there we go. But I'm also adding Dark, because Bayonet should have been Dark type, and I'm just dying on that hill. Also, the stand possesses a doll. If it was just a doll stand, I wouldn't count it as Ghost. Yellow Temperance. It's a blob of highly toxic substances, so just poison. I don't care about it disguising, that's not a type. Emperor. Gun. Steel. Hanged Man. I've been over this in a different video. There is no defined type for Mirror. There are 3 moves with Mirror in the name, and they're all different types. Out of the options, I'm going to go with Steel, because of his knife. And if you're seeing a trend, yeah, there's a lot of Steel types. Sorry. Empress is weird. It's sort of like if the move Leech Seed had a personality, right? But it's just flesh? I think normal poison could an infection. Sure, we'll go with that. Wheel of Fortune. It's a car, so Steel. Oh my god. Justice. Here's something fun. Justice is fog, controls people like puppets, and grants illusions. So I think Ghost type works well here. I could also see flying being done here. You know what, sure, Ghost flying. Lovers! It's small and it looks like a crab-like thing, so I'm giving it Bug type. The damage transferal, that is just him pinching pain receptors. I don't choose to care how that works. but it doesn't give it any more types. The Sun. It is the Sun. Death 13 plays into dreams and nightmares. Like, should I give it Psychic because of dreams? Or Dark because of nightmares? Let's do both. Psychic Dark. Boom, done. Judgment. The stand says it grants wishes, but all it does is make clay people. Ground type it is. High Priestess. It morphs into different minerals and metals. Steel rock. Done. The Fool. The last addition to the Last Crusaders. Pure ground, because almost every sand-based move is ground type except for Sandstorm. So you know how I said Dark Blue Moon is less obvious of a water type compared to other stands? Geb is a water hand. Knum. All it does is let you morph your face, so normal. And Toth. Toth is just Psychic. The book does not mean anything. Also, you know the theory that Toth predicted 9/11? Anyway, Anubis is a sword, but this sword also possesses whoever wields it. Sounds like Hone Edge. Steel Ghost. Bastet, a literal power outlet that shocks people and magnetizes objects towards them. Electric Steel. I am so tired of steel types. Give me literally anything else. Sethan! Okay. No. The stand that belongs to the PDF file. Let's just say Pure Dark because it's evil and uses a shadow. Osiris. Gambling with your soul. Personally, I always win these. Pure Ghost type, and will also stay the same for Atum. These two are actually just going to be counterparts. Horus. It generates ice, so it's ice. If you're asking about flying, the stand doesn't fly, the user does. Tenor Sax. I don't care. Green uses the void of space, and space is not a type. Same with how time isn't. I'm just going to say Psychic because that's tied to space. We're going into part 4. Crazy Diamond is very similar to Star Platinum, so we'll give it Fire type, and it also heals people. I think the healing power is more close to Fairy than it is to, say, Grass, so Fighting Fairy. Crazy Diamond and Iron Valiant, the best of friends. Aqua Necklace. This is pretty much like Geb, a pure water. Just because the user is a bastard doesn't mean the stand is. The Hand. It uses the same power as Cream, which is unfortunate because that means I'm giving Okuyasu a Psychic type. Ugh. Bad Company. I'm going to say Fighting because of war, and Steel because of bullets. Echoes. Our first stand with an actual evolutionary cycle, even coming from an egg. I'm going to say they're normal throughout their whole line because all their abilities are sound based. You could argue Act 3 uses gravity powers, so Psychic, but I think it's because Koichi hasn't figured out the rest of Echo's abilities and just go 3 freeze. He just hasn't grown into that yet. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Pure Electric. The Lock. The stand that can solo cars, hell yeah. The Lock manifests guilt into a metal lock that gets heavier and heavier. Plays on like a bad emotion, and is a lock, I would say Dark Steel. Surface. It just copies someone, so I guess normal. It's also made of wood, but being made of wood doesn't necessarily mean grass. Love Deluxe. This is hair. Normal type. Pearl Jam. Belonging to the goat Tonio. It's heals, which I classified as fairy earlier, but this one is infused with food, plus the stand appearance. I'm going to give it grass and fairy. Octung Baby. It's invisibility, that's all. I'm going to say normal. Heaven's Door. Another goated stand, but it's weird to classify. I think giving it Psychic is best because the ability is very similar to Mind Control. Rat. The stands, plural, are a turret that shoots bullets that melt people into goop. Ugh. Steel Poison. Killer Queen makes explosions. I'm going to call that fire. Harvest. It is like a swarm of little guys. Swarm like a bees. Bug normal, because they are very bug-like, but are not bugs, I think. Cinderella. She can remove your face and give you a different face that like makes your fate or luck or whatever better. I forgot how stupid and weird this power is. I'm glad she fucking died early. It deals with fate and love, so we'll go Fairy Psychic. Adam Heart Fiver. As a reminder, the ghost is the user, not the stand. The stand is the camera, I think, which takes pictures of people and traps them in that little place. I'm gonna say ghost or Psychic plus Steel. Boy to Man. The ability to steal life energy through Rock, paper, scissors. I'm just gonna call that pure ghost because it's stealing life energy and move on. I'm not counting Mikitaka. We still don't know if it's a stand or an alien. Highway Star, the ability to steal life energy. Why are these two in the same part? They do the same thing, except one does it way better. Anyway, this more drains nutrients than spirit energy, so instead of ghost, I'll say dark. Stray cat. Okay, so Pokemon, love you to death. Having all air-based things just being flying is stupid. Because this is a plant cat thing, but it shoots air, so I have to say flying. I don't know if it being fused with a plant is a part of the stand or not. So I'm going to move on, okay? Superfly, the literal electrical pylon. It's steel type, and that's it. Enigma, they steal people in paper if they display a fearful tale. I'm gonna call that dark, and also gonna call Cheap Trick dark, which just kills people and moves to other people. That ends off part 4 on a very weird note, because that is the last new stand we see. So let's just go into the final part for this video, part 5. Gold Experience and Gold Experience Requiem, because Requiem, it's either an evolution, like say Cubfu to Urshifu, going from a normal Pokemon to a legendary, or it's a Mega Evolution. Anyway, fighting because, you know, but also it creates life energy, which is usually plants animals, so fighting and grass. Sticky fingers. Portals are a weird thing, but thankfully all those portals are tied to zippers. So alongside fighting, because it's just as good a fighter as Gold Experience, we're going to give it steel. Black Sabbath. I wonder, what is the shadow stand going to be? Yeah, it's dark type. Dark Ghost. Could it grab souls? Soft Machine. I don't know how to incorporate the balloonification aspect, but it uses a blade, so I'm going to call it steel type. Moody Blues. It replays things from the past, which is kind of like post-cognition, which is kind of like precognition, which is psychic. Sex Pistols. Bullets. I'm sticking with steel. Craftwork. Stopping objects in mid-air doesn't mean anything. It looks like metal, so I'm going to say steel type again. Speaking of steel, Aerosmith. Plane. So, steel flying. Speaking of steel, Metallica. Speaking of steel, Luffy shrinks things and slashes. It does look metallic, so it could be steel. I feel more comfortable leaving this one at steel normal. Man in the Mirror. We're back to mirrors, but this one is a different dimension rather than just reflections. Because it's dimensional weirdness, I'm going to call it space, which is psychic. Purple Haze. Back to an easy one. It is poison fighting. So right now, there's a lot of overlap. Frankly, we needed some uniqueness. I'm glad we have Fugo here with us. Mr. President. It's a small room. All the room moves are psychic. So I'm going to do that, plus normal, because this is a normal room. Beach Boy. As much as I want to call it water because it's a fishing rod, the rod itself is not water-based. But it does have a metal hook. Yeah, it's steel type again, I'm sorry. Grateful Dead. We gave it the aging guy dark. We can do the same for the aging guy. Babyface. I'm just going to say steel and move on. White Album. We got another very underused type. White Album is ice type. And as for their armor, that is genuine ice. We did not add steel this time. That is just really, really, really hard ice. King Crimson and Epitaph. Because of Epitaph, we're going to go fighting psychic. Clash is a shark that can emerge from any liquid. So we have water. Talking Head is a tongue that attaches to yours and makes you lie. I'm going to give dark because lying, and we gave Empress normal poison. So I guess either normal or poison here too. As it attaches to your body. Notorious B.I.G. The first ever post-mortem stand. It's a blob that consumes anything, so I'm going to call it poison. I'm going to also say ghost, plus it being post-mortem. It's from my favorite post-mortem RPG. Spice Girl. It's another fighter. I don't know how to do its rubber ability, so let's just call it normal. Green Day. It is mold that spreads drastically. I'm going to say grass poison, because it spreads like a virus. Oasis. The stand is his suit, which I did not know. I don't know how I didn't know that, so I just dressed weird. Anyway, it liquefies the ground, so that type is clear, and I don't think it needs any more. Silver Chariot Requiem. The steel was traded for weird rubber, and the sword for mass soul manipulation. This stand is confusing. I'm gonna just call it Ghost and almost end it there. Cause we have one more. Rolling Stones. It's rocks that tell the future. It's rock psychic. And those are all the stands from part 3 to 5. Thanks for watching. I'll do part 2 next if I don't decide to do something else. This has been JoJo. Catches.